Hey, this is John from Pint Comics, and if my co-host Lloyd was here, he would tell you a couple things about this show. Number one, we swear way too fucking much. And number two, we drop spoilers without any warning. Now that you know that, listen in and enjoy the show. All right, welcome back to a brand new year, 2022 here on Pint Comics. I'm so excited. You know it's 2022 because as we record this, about 9 days prior to maybe 10 days prior to 2022 starting officially around that time, I had to take a COVID test. So it's just like this guy. 2020 is never going to end. Let's just be honest. So this is 2020. Part two, I guess what we're going to call it. I hope not, though. Bad joke. Everybody out there have a great year for sure. Go get fucking vaccinated. I'm just going to say it. I don't want to be that guy. Just go get fucking vaccinated. I'm so tired of dealing with this shit. My brain hurts. But you know what makes my brain feel better? The Manster's here. Manster, where the fuck have you been?
I've been getting my head together. Yeah, that's what I've been.
We have not recorded together. Now, this episode is remote, right? We're supposed to have our guests.
Whatever.
We're on StreamYard. We're not a sponsor, but StreamYard. We have not recorded together since July. That was in-house. We would have done this today in-house if I wasn't possibly in COVID protocols. Our guests were going to come down. This whole thing, see, again, get vaccinated. Besides death and destruction, you're fucking up personal lives, everything, just get vaccinated. I never talk about this stuff on air.
Just freaking do it. I don't care about your beliefs. Just do it.
Exactly. Real quick story. A guy I work with was coughing the other day. And I said, hey, are you okay? And he said, I'm all right. He goes, I started smoking again. Now, this is a guy who is anti-vax. He's an anti-vaxxer. And he says to me, I started smoking again. He goes, I haven't smoked since 2012. And I said, can I be brutally honest and rude with you? He goes, please. I said, you will not put the vaccine in your body for fear of what it will do, but you will smoke like fucking cigarettes, right, which we know.
Tar, nicotine, all kinds of shit. Just inject it right in.
All right, I'm done with my rant. A little bit of a rant to start 2022. But again, Pint Comics, we give you the entertainment and the love for free. Every once in a while, I got to say it. Now, Manster, take the floor. Because again, you haven't been on since episode 209. This is 223, I think.
Really?
209 came out in October. We haven't recorded since July. So where the fuck have you been?
You're right.
You don't call, you don't tell me, you just disappear.
Before I say that, let me just say one thing. You know what this podcast needed? It needed the Manster. Because you fucking nerded out big time. Holy cow.
What, are you saying Stu and Joe and Gary didn't do a good job?
No, those guys are great. Those guys are totally great.
All right.
Yeah, so I thank all of those guys for everything they did for filling in. As some of you may know, I went through a divorce recently. As a matter of fact, within the last month, I've been divorced. So divorce, new house, some children's stuff. Just been a lot of things that I really needed to focus my attention on. And not the podcast and not watching movies and stuff like that, you know? So, but I am getting back there. You know, this is my first podcast in, like you said, about 6 months. I'm in a new place, in a new town. Got my own home. I'm happier, much happier. Of course, I miss my kids. I miss seeing them every day when I wake up and, you know, when I come home and go to bed. But it's working out great and it's really awesome. And I'm glad to be back. And, you know, I can't wait to get into this and start doing this again, this podcast.
It's great to have you back. A little bit of just for the audience out there, because I had to record a bunch of stuff prior. The Manster is back. We're going to start recording normally again pretty soon.
Guess who's back?
Guess who's back? Manster's back. Tell a friend. But over the course of the next month and a half or 2 months, you might hear episodes where he's not here again. He didn't rage quit after this one, unless he does. I have some stuff pre-recorded. So I just want to say it's awesome to have you back. Sorry for such a heavy, COVID-heavy, divorce-heavy
If
intro.
I have to listen to another toy episode, that's it. I'm out.
Oh, well, we were gonna do one for you. It was top 10 toys for top 10 toys.
No.
Wait, listen. This is a good joke. Don't let it go. Top 10 toys made of wood from 1940. All right,
I got you. All right, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, right. I did get a year older in this time, so
we all did.
Yeah.
We all did. Let's bring the levity into the show. When you ask people what one of the best parts of podcasting is, my answer is the people we meet. And there have been some great ones, and these are two of the great ones. They've never been on actual Pint of Comics proper. They recorded with us like 2 years ago here at the 215, but it was for their show. We did favorite soundtracks.
Okay? Yeah, that was a great show. We had a lot of fun.
And then they came on the radio show, so they were on that version. Ashleigh and Maggie from Rock Candy Podcast. Guys, how the fuck are you doing?
Hi. Air horns. Hi. Hey, you know what? For what it's worth, if anything's going to bring the Manster back, it's us.
Yeah. It's you guys. Absolutely.
You're welcome, Ganache.
I appreciate it so much. And the worst part about, like, honestly, this whole, COVID thing I'm going through, I don't have it, but, I'm being tested for it. Let's put it that way. Is that you guys had planned, I don't think I have it, but you guys had planned to come down, and we were going to fucking hang out today, and that couldn't happen. It's going to happen very soon in the future, but I look forward to seeing you guys so much, and it's just a total bummer, but you're here, we can see you, you're here in spirit. Now, what is new with you guys? Because there's one big, huge chunk of news that we do know that it doesn't necessarily make me too fucking happy, but what do we got going on over there at Rock Candy?
Well, basically, we're gonna end the podcast because, just like you guys had a lot of shit going on in the last year or so, we have a fuck ton of shit going on, and it's just gonna continue. We both work full-time jobs. I have a part-time job that's kind of getting ramped up, so I'm gonna be like a manager of a bar, and Maggie's gonna be working at the bar, and like potential career changes and all this shit, and something's got to give. And unfortunately, it's the podcast because we do so much work for this freaking podcast.
You guys
it's so much work.
God.
We do at least like 20 hours of work every week for one podcast episode. That's a full-time job that we actively lose money on.
There was like such a catch-22 to us not being able to visit. I'm like, fuck, but I really want to go visit.
Yeah.
But also then I was like, ooh, wait a minute. I have extra time to do my notes.
Yeah.
We are currently in balls deep in our David Bowie series, and it's a lot.
It's a lot of balls.
I am just
it's a lot of deep.
I'm just covering the 70s years right now, from like Ziggy Stardust through the Berlin trilogy, and I was like, by page 8, I'm like, I don't know, I'm done. I'm done. And then now.
Before Maggie was doing David Bowie, I did a 3-parter on Rush. There's so much. And if we could do a 3-parter on every artist that we cover, that'd be great. We could throw everything in there, but we can't. And it really stresses you out doing this. And we've been doing it for 4 years now. We have almost 200 episodes. It's time to just pack it in. And it's not to say that we're done forever, because I am going to want to scream into the abyss about facts about some musician that everybody collectively gets wrong. So of course, at some point when shit settles down, maybe we'll go back to it. Maybe we won't. Who knows? But we love doing it.
One request: if you ever come back, which I hope you do, please do the Pixies.
Oh yeah.
That'd be interesting.
I still have a list like a mile long of musicians that I've been wanting to cover, and that's one of them.
I love your three episode ones. You Queen and
Nirvana,
Rush, Nirvana. Yeah, those are great.
I don't know.
We would start pretty much every year with a 3-parter. Now we're ending it with 2 3-parters.
Oh well, then we decided to do just the individual lives of each Beatle.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
What's that?
Oh yeah, that's 3-parter on the Ramones.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be. I was like, it'll be a 1, 2. Oh, it's a 3-parter. Wow.
I mean, as soon as you get to Phil Spector, all cards are off the table. Like,
right.
You got to talk about anybody's experience with Phil Spector,
and it's never just a 1-page experience.
It's never good.
Is most of the episode is going to be about Phil Spector.
Yeah, because at some point he's going to threaten somebody's life
with a gun.
And
that's
the most interesting part of the 3-parter Ramones episodes was that they're only 2 minutes and 26 seconds long each. That's Ramones. For anybody out there, that's a joke based on their song length. Yeah.
And we just repeated the same thing 4 times. So
and we didn't really know what we were doing when we did it. We were just doing it, but it worked. Everybody really liked it.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of there's no good news in this in terms of for people that love great podcasts. You guys are like the be all end all music podcasts in the indie scene, and listening to your show, it does show look. I'm trying to, I guess, show the difference. We do research on the movies or comics we talk about, but it's literally, we try to get deep, but it's just, maybe an hour, 2 hours of a little bit of things here and there, some notes, whatever. You guys are scripting, and you're obviously. So I mean, I could see where I complain about how this can be tough to do this show. I can imagine how your show could be tough as well. Yeah. The good news is I'm hoping, right, that maybe a year, 2 years from now, you come back. But for anybody out there that wants to check you out, you're not taking everything down, are you?
No, everything's still up.
Yeah, it'll still be available via all podcast catchy type thingy majigs. Sure. I don't know. Heard you can rate podcasts on Spotify now. Go give us and Pint a 5-star rating, because it doesn't show up till it gets enough rating.
Yeah, nobody will find
One doesn't count. Yeah.
No, you got to do 5.
Yeah.
Oh, is it just 5?
Yeah.
5-star, that's all.
Just 5.
Oh, I just meant you have to show that a certain amount of people have to rate it before it shows a rating.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, God damn it.
Yeah.
All right. So you have your homework now. Go find Rock Candy. Go find Pint of Comics. Hit that 5 button on Spotify. Manster, you're back. I've been doing it while you were away for the most part. 5 questions. You have 5.
Oh, you want me to do 5 questions?
You have 5 random ass questions for Ashleigh and Maggie. Same questions. You both get to answer your ansers. So why don't you pull out the question log?
All right, I will do that. I will do that. These are going to be super easy, so don't even worry about it. And you may see some sort of connection. So the first one, Rod Stewart or Halsey?
I don't even know Halsey at all.
I would say Halsey.
And I don't want to pick Rod Stewart, but I guess I'm picking Rod Stewart.
I'm going to go Halsey.
I love Halsey. I love them both, actually, but Trent Reznor recently, I guess they produced her latest album. And I had never heard of her before then.
Is she the one with the titty out on the cover of the album with the baby?
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, she had a baby. Yeah.
But I mean,
I really enjoy the music.
Can you go to Target and buy the breast cover, or is there?
They don't sell music or movies anywhere anymore. Even if you go to Best Buy, you might get a little rack with new releases, and that's about it.
Wow,
so
it's ridiculous.
Get a rack
you can't buy you can't buy any physical media anymore. It's sad.
I do know that her real name is Ashleigh, and Halsey is just jumbled up Ashleigh.
Oh,
that
shit!
Is correct.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
And obviously, Rod Stewart, Maggie May. Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
Now I get it.
Do you get it?
Now you fucked up. But then you fucked up.
Right.
Honestly.
You didn't pick Ashleigh, and I didn't pick Maggie May.
That's right.
We both fucked up.
Oh, we've both fucked up.
That's all right.
I got to be honest. I was thinking that
simple questions, my dick.
I was thinking the Manster had a mini stroke when he wrote that question. I'm like, what does one have to do with the other?
That's right.
But now I see.
Oh, you know my mind. You know my mind. It's like fucking really deep.
It's been a while.
Yeah. All right, next one.
Now that I know that they're trick questions.
This one's easy. Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Captain Crunch?
Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch, it hurts the roof of your mouth.
It does. It's scratchy. Very scratchy. Your mouth,
so I'm gonna go Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Little known fact about me: I hate cereal.
Whoa.
So neither.
All right, Maggie is shaking her head like she doesn't approve of that.
I fucking love cereal.
Cereal can be breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
Well, and really, technically, let's be honest, any food can. If you really wanted to push it.
Any food is breakfast food if you eat it for breakfast.
There you go. Exactly.
All right. Next one. Mead or a double IPA?
Mead.
All right. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really sick of IPAs.
I've never liked IPAs.
I've been sick of IPAs since I knew they existed.
Yeah, there you go. Doubles aren't so bad sometimes. They're all right.
Sour IPAs can fuck.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I had a really good sour IPA last night, but other than that.
Kit Kat or Twix?
Twix.
Wow, that was quick for both of them.
That was fast,
Yeah.
I
love them both,
but
Twix is really
I can
good.
say no.
Yeah, I wouldn't turn away Kit Kat, but if you got a Twix, I'm gonna take that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And this is stupid, but purple or green?
Well, considering our hair color,
I'm gonna go green.
I guess I want green, but I guess I'll have to go purple.
You're taking purple.
That's right. I love them. I love them both, and I have an affinity towards green for some reason.
Were there right and wrong answers?
No. Whatever you feel.
Green is my second favorite color, so purple would be third.
I can't have a favorite color. I like them all.
You know, my daughter asked me the same thing. What's your favorite color? I don't have a favorite. I am not really good on favorites.
Yeah,
it really depends on what I'm feeling at the time.
Nah.
You're like blue.
It's absolutely always been blue. Yeah.
Hold up, I can't like every room in the house has to be a different color. I have green hair now. I can't wear certain outfits, even if I like the color, because it'll look weird with my hair. You gotta colors are it's a vibe, it's a mood. I can't just pick one. Sorry.
My hair is the only thing that has color.
Yep.
My hair is the only thing that has color.
Oh, black is your favorite color.
Black is my favorite color.
Oh yeah, and then green. Is it just because of typo negative?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't want to go crazy on this, but isn't black not a color, right?
Black isn't that the absence of all colors?
All colors.
It's the absence of all colors, right?
Absence of all colors. White is all colors.
White is all colors.
White is all colors.
Yeah.
Black is the absence of all color.
I'm sure Joe will, tweet out if we're right or wrong.
Yes, our buddy scientist Joe. He knows the answer. Before we jump into there's still a topic to this episode, by the way. Before we jump into that, Ashleigh, I did want to ask you, for anybody that might be up in the capital region of New York, what is the name of the awesome is it a meadery? What would you call it?
Yeah, it's a meadery.
All right. So what is the name? Is there a website that people can check it out? You were going to bring us down some meads. I've never had mead, so I'm excited about this.
Really? You're going to have the best mead in the world.
Awesome.
You're going to first have it. So, okay, for anybody that doesn't know what mead is basically honey wine. And you hear honey wine, you think, oh, fuck, it's going to be really sweet. That's not the case. If you have good mead, there's going to be a selection from dry to sweet. So a lot of ours tend towards dry. So, how dry do you want it? So dry, like the Sahara Desert. So the meadery that I work for is called Helderberg Mead Works. We are located in Esperance, New York.
Or as I like to call it, Esperance.
Shout out to Esperance.
And
sure.
We're opening a new location in Troy, which is where we live. So
literally 3 blocks from my apartment. I'm I'm going to live here now.
Manster and I are coming up.
Awesome.
We're going to come up at some point, and we're going to check this place out, because it always. I've seen pictures, and I think I even went on the website when I was looking up the flavors. Looks very cool. I'm hoping that I like mead, so that I can get more mead. I'm afraid I'm going to try and go, I don't like mead. And then,
no, you're going to like it. And if mead. We have so much stuff that there is something for everybody. Mm-hmm. We even do ciders. We have a braggot. A braggot is a blend of mead and beer. And it's quite fucking delicious, if I do say so myself.
Braggot. Where does that name come from, braggot?
I have no idea. Probably German.
I feel like we talked about that once, because I feel like I was like, what is braggot? Are they just bragging about how good this is?
Yeah.
I don't know, Manster. I'm picturing it comes from the land of the ice and snow. It sounds like something that would be in the internet
I love that reference.
We are Viking themed too. Like the whole thing is Viking themed. So yeah, that's appropriate.
Let's talk about our top 5 favorite fictitious bands from TV or movies. Originally, I said movies just because I wasn't thinking wide. And then Maggie's like, I don't watch movies. And then I was like, what? And she's like, no, I don't watch movies. And I'm like, I think we talked about this before. So let's open it up to TV. So our top 5 favorite bands that don't exist in the real world, that exist in the TV or movie. Pint Comics rules always apply on top episodes, 10 or 5, whatever it is. Your 5 through 2 can be in any order. Don't sweat it. If you truly can't say, I'm not sure if this is a 3 or 4, I don't care. But when you get to 1, give me your 1. I want your 1 to be, this is the best. Okay.
Okay.
That's it. That's all. Because I know sometimes people are like, I don't know, this might be a 2 or a 3. I don't give a fuck. Put it at 2 or 3. I'm not worried about it.
All right, he's talking about me
because I don't have it in order.
I didn't really have mine in order, but
although I think our honorable mention could be our collective one.
That would be a collective
I've got a couple
one
of those myself.
Yeah.
All right. Now, are you guys because we didn't really get too far into rules? Do you guys have 2 separate lists, or did you combine a list?
2 separate.
Okay,
that's good.
That's what I'd hoped for, but I realized I never said that out loud. Okay.
You know what's really funny though, real quick? You know how I was like, I don't watch movies. 4 out of my 5 are from movies.
You're a dickhead.
I'm a dickhead.
Wow.
Well, also I think like 3 out of my 5 are from TV.
What?
Nothing.
I was like, is 90210? Do they have a band?
The Peach Pit. There's a band at the Peach Pit.
Wait,
right?
I thought the Peach Pit was the cafe.
The Peach Pit was the diner, dude.
I know some band played there once.
Yeah, the How Can I Talk to an Angel was there one time. Remember that song?
Oh.
They were there.
To an angel.
Like
absolutely.
Something.
Yeah, because he ended up on the show and he beat Donna. He was abusive.
Really?
He threw it down a flight of stairs.
Oh my god! The fuck was the show?
Yeah, it was 90210.
I didn't watch it.
Okay. Oh yeah. I was
a Melrose Place guy myself.
I wasn't. I was like 17 at the time. I wanted to stay age range appropriate. Actually, funny trivia fact about me here is that the 90210 kids graduated the same year that I did from high school, 1993.
Oh.
So we were right there. We're the same age range. All right.
It's like it mirrored your life exactly, didn't it?
To a fucking T.
Yeah, he's practically Dylan. Can't you tell?
Oh,
Seriously.
absolutely. I was like if Jason Priestley and Luke Perry existed in the same dude, or maybe more likely we're eaten by the same dude. I don't know. All right, we start.
That. All right.
Yeah, ate both of them at the same time. We start ladies first here because that's just the right thing to do. We will start with Ashleigh, whose name I guess can be turned to Halsley. That's something we learned
not
earlier.
Hers.
But not hers because she's got the G in there.
I have the correct spelling of Ashleigh.
The good spelling.
Also, alphabetically, I am first.
Yes.
I'm just going this way. That's all.
First name and last name. Okay, so my first pick, I guess in no particular order.
Your number 5.
My number 5 is Jessie and the Rippers from Full House.
I knew this would end up somewhere.
Somebody had to do it.
It was just so prominent on that show that I feel like you can't ignore it. And also, they kind of turned into a real band.
Didn't John Stamos really end up touring with the Beach Boys?
Oh, he
was really in with the Beach Boys.
He's like an honorary Beach Boy.
Yeah.
Which, like, rip a fucking Roni. I don't like either of them.
Well, also, so Jessie and the Rippers on the show made it big in Japan. They had a #1 hit in Japan. And that song was Forever. Do you remember?
From the wedding.
Yeah.
When he married Rebecca.
Yes. And then they had the twins and he made a video for it. And like they actually played it on MTV and shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not have cable.
This I do not remember.
But Forever. Oh, you should YouTube that shit when we're done. Cause wow. What a sign of its time. But Forever was actually a Beach Boys song that came out in the 70s. The Beach Boys are in the video for Forever that they fucking played on MTV and at the end of whatever episode of Full House.
This is really meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Super meta.
Jessie and the Rippers.
If you ever see the video for Kokomo, the Beach Boys song from Cocktail,
he's in it.
Yeah.
He's the bongo player. Yeah.
He's in it. Yeah.
I fucking
And the Beach Boys were on Full House so many times. Jessie and the Rippers reunited in 2013 on the Jimmy Fallon show.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Another reason to hate Jimmy Fallon.
Do they exist in the world of Fuller House? Did he become
They
big?
do.
Oh,
yes,
Jesus
they were
Christ.
on Fuller House. Indeed, they were.
I mean, I bet.
All right.
Pretty much, I think everyone is on Fuller House except for the Olsen twins, but I think they're all like, it's fine. You don't need to come
we
back.
get it. You're like way above us now.
Oh, no,
We
they're
understand.
not.
They're
One
not,
of them
but
killed
they
Heath Ledger.
Oh,
I've heard that.
No,
I've heard that.
did.
Yeah, I've heard
Like,
that.
Not purposefully, but she didn't help.
Yeah.
Just
Oh
saying.
yeah. She was not a helpful person in that
No.
situation.
So everyone's kind of like the Olsen sisters can sit down now.
Yeah.
Except for Elizabeth. She
Except
can
for
do whatever the fuck she wants.
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, Elizabeth is Elizabeth. I like the fact that Elizabeth has somehow like gotten out of the shadow and like she's done her own thing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she doesn't look sickly either. Because I don't want to make fun of the twins, but they just look very sickly all the time.
Yeah, there is definite like eating disorder, kind of
Something's
stuff going on with
there.
them,
Yeah.
and you're like, it's sad, it sucks.
It is. I just laughed, but I wasn't laughing at that. I was just laughing at that.
I actually didn't even compute that. Oh my
That was
God.
kind of a discomfort for the situation laugh, not a like
Yes,
eating disorders. Maggie, what is your number 5?
All right, let me lighten the mood a little bit here. So this one's really funny. I've never seen this movie.
Of course not.
But I fucking love this soundtrack.
Okay,
I
it's fair.
Came across it, so I was like, "This is great." It's the Josie and the Pussycats movie from 2001. So it's Josie and the Pussycats
Okay.
from Josie and the Pussycats.
Honestly, the
movie,
best
though.
iteration of Josie and the Pussycats.
Probably, I don't know. I mean, they sound great. Although, funny thing that I learned is that they're not actually singing "Surprise, Surprise."
Yeah.
Rachel Lee Cook isn't actually singing. What?
No, really?
way.
But you know who they got was Kay Hanley of Letters to Cleo. And I was like, once I read that, I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, this makes a lot of sense.
Who else was in that band? Do you know, as far as actors go?
Oh, it was Rosario Dawson, Rachel Lee Cook, and Tara Reid.
That's right. Beautiful.
I love Rosario Dawson.
Oh, yeah. Like, I should watch it on that alone. And the fact that, like, I really like the Josie and the Pussycat song from that movie. Like, I remember it was like 2001, 2002, the soundtrack just came out, and I like had it on my Winamp.
Oh, yeah. Did you have a Josie and the Pussycat skin for your Winamp?
Oh, please. No, I had like a Sailor Moon skin for my Winamp.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
I'm pretty sure I had an Inuyasha one. So we're good.
I'm fucking weebing out over here, but also I fucking loved that movie. They had a lot of really interesting contributors for it, like Biff Naked, which is awesome.
I do remember that.
And
she kicks ass.
She fucking,
I
love her. And then Adam Schlesinger from Fountains of Wayne.
I love that guy.
I know. And then,
he was the one who did the music for That Thing You Do.
Do you want me to bring it down real quick?
Yeah. Is he the one who died?
He just died of COVID.
He was one of the first like celebrities that got sick and died
Oh,
of COVID.
that's right.
Yeah.
Hold on. Nothing is full yet until I go like this. Sorry, that was another misplaced laugh.
Oh, that was bad.
This is the episode where John laughs in really inappropriate places. It's fine. He's just awkward. It's fine.
Yeah, super
It's all
awkward.
right.
But I mean, yeah, they also had, there was like Matthew Sweet, Jane Weidland from the Go-Go's, Adam Duritz from Counting Crows.
Matthew Sweet's great.
I like
Yeah.
Matthew Sweet.
Matthew Sweet's great. Adam Duritz.
Rip a fucking Roni. I hope he just came in and was like, I think we need more white dreads. And they're like, no, Duritz, get the fuck
we
out.
need more white dreads.
Less white dreads.
It was also produced by Babyface.
What?
What the
Yeah,
hell?
the soundtrack was
Left
produced
field.
By, yeah.
Okay.
Also Babyface. And to audition for the role of Valerie Brown, who Rosario Dawson played, they also had Beyonce, Aaliyah, and Lisa Left Eye Lopez
Holy shit.
vying for the role. I think actually Left Eye almost got it.
Rosario Dawson should feel so good about herself.
I
for
would diddle
beating all of
myself
them.
every night for the rest of my fucking life thinking that.
Yeah.
Like Rosario Dawson ended up getting it, which I thought was kind of funny that they gave the movie like the lead spots to no one who can play music.
Nobody.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever. Fucking the soundtrack slaps. I'm sure the movie's good too. A lot of people are like, it's actually really cute, like
It's
cult
cute.
classic.
It's cheesy. You know, it's a teen movie, but it's cute.
Also, I know Adam Cummings is in it, and I'm like, oh,
Alan Cummings.
Alan Cummings.
Alan.
There you go.
Look, all I can think about is coming in my hair.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Something about Mary.
All right, so I think we realize that there's no reason why Maggie should never have seen this movie because it sounds like it was built for her.
This is a Maggie movie if there ever was one.
But this also goes to show y'all, I just never see movies.
yeah.
Me and the boyfriend have been trying to schedule a night to see the Spoderman movie because like that shit, I don't want that spoiled, but I know somebody's gonna fucking spoil it. I gotta find a time to see it. I don't have time to fucking see it. I don't have fucking time.
All right, so my number 5, it came out in 2010, and this band, the music was all written by Beck. Okay.
I know what movie it is already. Damn.
I know what movie it is.
I already know it.
Is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
You got one of my picks.
We're gonna have crossover. The band is Sex Bob-omb, featuring Scott Pilgrim on bass, Stephen Stills on guitar and vocals. I don't know if that is supposed to be I guess what do you call it, a compliment or after the actual Stephen Stills.
There's also Young Neil.
Well, Young Neil isn't in the band though, right?
Yeah, but
it's
obviously an homage.
Yeah. Kim Pine is the drummer, and they're essentially like this 3-piece kind of like, I don't know, grungy alternative trio. They're making their way through the club circuit at the same time that Scott Pilgrim has to fight off the evil ex's boyfriends and girlfriends. And at the end of the movie, Scott decides to take himself out of it, and he gives Young Neil, who's his understudy in the band, which is weird, the bass position, and that's when they become like their final form. They're better with Neil than they were with Scott. Scott realizes it. Scott has some growth in the movie. I watched it about a year ago with my wife. I hadn't seen it in a while. Great movie. Scott's creepy as fuck. I guess I didn't totally realize it the first time, but Scott's creepy as fuck. Like
I love Scott in this movie. He's awesome.
He's the Knives Chow being kind of young, and the way he's treating all these women, and he's a creep. He's a creep.
And that's the whole point of his character. Like a lot of like dudes watch it and totally miss the point of the movie. The point of the movie is that Scott's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And that like he's treating everyone like shit. And the reason like nothing is going right is because he's being a fucking child and not realizing, oh my God, you're fucking people and I'm treating you
basically
shitty.
Every single male musician we cover in our show. Literally every single one.
So
there's some exceptions, but most of them.
I think the first time I saw the movie, which I really enjoyed, I think I realized that Scott was just like, this character that was on his route to becoming a better version. On the rewatch, I realized he's not a nice guy.
Yeah.
At the beginning at all, and like and then we get stuff that moves on. But the band itself, I mean, there's the great scene. They're playing one side of the hall versus the two brothers that are like DJs. And it's just there's just some great stuff. What was it? Their song "We Are Sex Bob-omb." Just a good band, good time. And I think that the actual actors learned. I think Michael Cera played bass anyway, but the other actors learned to play drums and guitar. And and
they got taught all of their songs, and so that way they could pantomime correctly.
Yeah,
they rehearsed all together like as a real band. They all learned to play, and it was they did a good job.
Yeah,
they really did. It's impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't particularly care for this movie, but I very much like the lady drummer, and I like the actress too,
Alison Pill.
Yes.
Yeah,
what else was she in?
Goon. Have you ever seen Goon?
Well, that's the hockey movie, right?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I haven't seen that.
Check it out. Check it out.
Of course, I haven't seen that. But hey, I've seen a movie.
You've seen it.
I've seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I did it. I did it.
All right,
I think Michael Cera was really, really good in that role.
Did you give him a new last name?
When I said I liked Scott Pilgrim, I liked Michael Cera. I mean, he was fantastic in that role.
Are you giving him a new last name?
A piece of shit. Cera, whatever. I don't know.
Michael Cera. I like it.
Like he's a fine wine.
My fancy version of saying his name.
All right.
Yeah.
He's just a fine wine. It's okay.
That was the opinion of Lloyd Grain. All right.
That's all right. I do that a lot with names.
Number 5, Manster. What do you got for your number 5?
I am going to totally bring this whole place down now. I'm sorry.
Do it.
My number 5, I'm sorry, it has recency bias. So I've seen this movie in the last week. And I had no idea what this movie was. And then I saw it. And now I was incredibly impressed by it. And the band is called The Ain't Rights. And it's from a little movie called Green Room.
I was like, Lloyd's going to pick this. I know Lloyd's going to pick this. Because I picked it too. I picked The Ain't Rights.
All right. So basically they're like a punk band that end up playing in a Nazi skinhead bar. Their original gig gets canceled, so they get this gig. And they don't know what it is, and they're in this skinhead bar, and their first song is, what is it? Nazi
punks fuck off.
Yeah. And and they're really good. I mean, it's got what's his name? Anton Yeltsin.
Yep.
Anton
Yelchin
passed away because he got crushed by his own car.
Very bizarre.
They're so good. I wish I had heard more of their music. You heard one song and then you heard maybe half of another song. They had so much energy. They played the parts perfectly. They were fantastic. And the movie is really good. I mean, if you've never seen this movie, it's a small film, but
I haven't seen this
check it
movie,
out.
and I need
Green
to.
Room.
Oh, I would love it.
It's good, but it's hard.
It's
a tough
freaking
watch.
dark as hell. Yeah.
Is Patrick Stewart?
Yes.
in it?
Patrick Stewart is in the movie. Yeah.
And they
He's a
did a
Nazi.
really good job. Yeah, he's a fucking Nazi. But they did a really good job trying hard not to put him in most of the promotional stuff because they didn't want people to see Patrick Stewart. They didn't want Patrick Stewart to be what sold the movie.
Yeah.
And because he's not playing Captain fucking Card. I'll tell you that.
The fucking card.
The fucking Card. Oh
Not
my
the
god.
fucking card.
He is
No
not
way.
Professor Goddamn Xavier.
Yeah.
No.
He is not a nice man. He's a bad man.
Yeah.
Aaliyah, I can never say your name. Aaliyah Shawkat.
Shawkat.
Yeah,
Shawkat, yeah.
she's in it, which I loved her
Oh.
character.
She's a
Maybe.
guitarist. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved her character. She was so good. And once
we're gonna
again,
get
it was
So good.
Arrested Development connection right there from my pick to your pick. Michael Cera.
Oh,
And
but
Michael
my pick
Cera.
also. So did we pick the same pick? We probably picked the same thing.
Well, no. I mean, on this round, I had Scott Pilgrim, which is Michael Cera, as we know.
Also-
and he was
and
in Arrested
Alia-
Development. Okay.
And Alia
Well,
Shawkat.
also,
Well, we're gonna have
also-
more.
in Green Room, Mark Webber is in Green Room, who
That's right.
plays a guy in the band in Scott Pilgrim.
He's the sympathetic
Oh my God,
Nazi that
that's
helps
right.
him out, right?
Yes.
Yes.
that's right.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay. All
so
right.
fucking movie. It's
Mhm.
another film where everybody learned the songs. They all learned their instruments so
Yeah.
that they could play correctly. So that because the dude who directed it, Jeremy Saulnier.
Salmier.
Saulnier. I'm
Salmier,
sorry,
I guess,
Jeremy.
Something like that.
Jeremy Salamander.
Oh, Jeremy Salamanders.
Mm,
He was in a punk band back in the day, and actually some of the not like the story itself, but just like little nuances and character details are actually like from events that happened to him in his life, like from like touring and going to punk shows. So when he was like, no, you got to fucking learn these songs, because he didn't want people to watch it and be like, they ain't playing. He's like, no, they're fucking playing.
They're
Yeah.
fucking playing. Yeah.
They're fucking playing.
they fucking
Motherfucking
play.
playing.
All
And
right,
they
let's-
really wanted to avoid. Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought this
No.
was cute. Well, not
No,
cute,
no,
but
go.
cute. This is cute.
This
No,
is
this is
cute.
cool. This is cool. They
Nazis
wanted
are cute.
Nazis are not cute.
No.
No, it's not cute.
No. Wait, hold on.
Well,
Nazi.
no.
Wait. Hold on. Say Nazis are cute again.
Nazis are cute. Are you gonna? Are you isolating that? Are you isolating that?
No,
so
no,
someday
I-
you could get
I
us
want-
canceled.
No, I wanted to add my laugh to it.
Inappropriate laugh.
My
Yeah.
inappropriate
Wow.
laugh.
This might go down as Pint of Comics' most inappropriate episode ever.
Could be. Could
Year
be.
5.
Inappropriate.
We're in year 5 now.
But the director wanted to avoid using any nationalist bands, so he actually made sure he went to punk and metal bands like Midnight and Corpus Ratus to just he's like, I know you're supposed to be in a nationalist bar, but we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
We're not gonna.
Yeah.
No. So that was
No.
cool. So that was nice.
I always wondered in that movie, which I've seen a couple times, the thought process behind the band playing that song to that crowd. I get it that you're flipping them off, but you're in the wrong place to start
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, right.
Yo.
Maybe when you leave, when the van's driving away, you go, fuck off, Nazis. But when you're on the stage and you play, what was it, whatever, Nazis go fuck off or whatever. And
Nazis
Neo
on
Nazis
front,
fuck off.
yeah, and you
Oh,
see the
fuck.
guys in the fucking in the crowd with their giant necks getting all fucking knuckle cracky. I'm like, not a great
Yeah,
idea.
nobody was moving to that song, but as soon as they went to their next song, everybody's getting into it.
Yeah,
And what did that guy say? He said when they were in the green room, what was that next to last song he did? And he told him, he goes, yeah, that's the one I did her to.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
so disturbing, that scene.
Yeah. All
right.
It was such
Let's-
a fucked up.
Let's
That
move
was
on
a
to round
fucked up
4.
movie.
Move on to round 4 with Ashleigh. Ashleigh, what is your 4?
All right. Well, I'm going to keep the Arrested Development line going.
Okay.
And my next pick is going to be Dr. Funke's 100% Natural Good Time Family Band Solution from Arrested Development.
Tobias Funke.
This was the band that Tobias, Lindsay, and Maybe formed in the 90s. And it was like a folk band that was like being subsidized by the Natural Life Food Company, the pharmaceutical company. So they were basically being like shills for this pharmaceutical company.
Don't they play like in a mall or something at one point? Like, is there a mall concert?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Like, so they did like flashbacks to when they were a 90s band. They basically just did jingles for these drugs like Temacil. And that ended with a prepubescent Maybe speaking the words Temacil may decrease your sex drive.
Yes, I remember that now. Oh my god.
And along with decreasing your sex drive, it also creates feelings of teamwork, obliterates your short-term memory, and causes sleepiness. However, it does not, I repeat, it does not cause hallucinations. And it was discontinued after it was discovered that the feelings of camaraderie were just a precursor to complete pituitary gland shutdown. So they stopped doing it.
Oh my god.
You know, flash forward to now times, which is whenever Arrested Development came out. I can't remember what year it came out.
2000 something.
2000 something. They're trying to get the band back together for some fucking reason. And Lindsay was just like, yeah, no, I was high out of my mind on this drug called Xanatab, which they made another song for. She had to be on this drug in order to get through it because it was a nightmare. And she said that she was whacked on Xanatab the whole time and that the drug is good for 15 minutes and then it burns when you pee and your marriage goes to hell. But yeah, then Tobias tries to get the band back together for a wellness convention where they would be hawking the drug Euphorazine, a side effect of which is delayed irritability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
the
that's
show.
So then she started taking Euphorazine again to deal with being in the band again. But ultimately, Lindsay and Maybe stormed off stage. And then George Michael and Job's wife joined Tobias on stage to finish out the set.
Was that Amy Poehler when she was in the military?
Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep, because she was fucking
right.
obsessed with the band.
Right.
God.
3 seasons of maybe the best television ever. And then 2 of like, why did you do that? Like,
Yeah.
I never even got through the last one. I gave up. I didn't
watch the last one, but I didn't hate season 4. I thought it was whatever.
Yeah, I didn't hate the new season. Or seasons? They only did one, right?
They did 2, but I never watched the second one.
I didn't mind them. I thought they were fine.
I thought that season 4 had a lot of stuff in it I liked, but the disparity in quality was so great.
Oh, yeah.
So great. And then the problem was when you got to season 5 and it completely hinged on 4, which was already not great.
Yeah.
It was just like, I just didn't care anymore.
A big problem I had is that it seemed like they were really focused on bringing in other big name actors into it. And they really shouldn't have done that. They just should have kept it to the core group and just focused on them, focused on Joe being a fucking idiot, focused on Michael, like trying to keep everybody together, Lucille just being Lucille. Yeah. They should have focused on that instead of bringing in all of this outside influence that didn't really make sense. It was kind of like they were doing that just to get the word out there that like, hey, you should watch this because, you know, Isla Fisher's in it and all these other people. Doesn't fucking matter. The whole point of the show in the first few seasons was that the ensemble was amazing. Yeah. You didn't need anybody else. And they still don't need anybody else. They should have stuck with, they should have fucking consulted me first.
They should have.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nobody does.
Nobody ever does.
And I have all the good ideas and everyone's just a fucking moron.
Just remember before we get to Maggie, there's always money in the banana stand. Maggie, what do you have for your number 4?
I never watched enough of this show. This is one of those shows where you watch a show and then you watch it again. It's the same fucking episode, and then you watch it again, and it's again the same episode.
It's absolutely fucking not. It's absolutely
no
not.
For me. No. You don't see what I'm saying. I literally watched the Spider-Man episode 3 times.
Right. So get yourself the DVD.
Like it was every time I ever watched that show, it was always the Spider-Man episode.
So
now you need
Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Watch the whole fucking shotgun
I've
that
got
shit.
a list about this long of shit to watch.
It's three,
I understand it's there, and I try to watch it.
It's 3 seasons that get shorter and shorter as they go along.
How many were on like regular network TV?
Probably 40 episodes. Half hour, 22 minutes each. I could go right now, finish one season, come back, and before my next round.
All right.
I could do it.
I know this show is good, and this has Will. What's that guy's name?
Will
Arnett.
He played Will Arnett, right?
Yeah.
Will Arnett. Yeah.
Yep.
Illusions, Michael.
Tricks something
Like-
forced to for money.
Like the guy in the $5,000 suit's going to hold the door for you. Right.
Well, since y'all took like 4 and 3, I got 2 left.
Oh no.
That's fine. It's fine. You know, it only helps. My number, I don't know, 2. I'm not at a number
Well,
anymore.
you could say your real number 4.
I mean, it's not. I mean, I didn't do a real order.
Well, no. If you have one we already talked about, you can just say 4, mention it, and we can move on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, 4 was Sex Bomb, and then 3 was.
Well, we're not there. We're not there yet.
Right.
We'll get around. We'll get around again.
So we'll get around
Look
again
at
now.
you.
So we're on
I see what you're saying now. 4 was going to be Sex Bomb.
All right. So
Okay.
your 4 was Sex Bomb.
Okay.
Was there one particular thing that you really liked about that band?
Oh, I mean, I said it. I was
Already
stealing y'all's
discussed.
thunders.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna move past that. I just didn't want you to feel like you had something to say and you didn't. All right.
Oh
So-
no, I made sure I said my shit.
My number 4. They were around in 1955. Technically, the movie was 1985. A little picture called Back to the Future.
Yep.
This band was Marvin Berry and the Starlighters.
Yes.
That's a great choice.
You got this great band playing this prom. They do an incredible cover of Earth Angel. We find out through plot machinations that Marvin Berry is cousins with Chuck Berry. Who?
Hey, Chuck. It's your cousin, Marvin. Marvin Berry.
You gotta hear
Marvin
this.
Berry.
I like
Just in
these girls.
case you guys didn't get the reference, yeah.
And they only get a little bit better when Marty McFly joins in to play Johnny B. Good, which
Yeah.
in this time travel comedy ends up informing, as we just said, Chuck Berry to this new sound that we're to believe he got from Marty. Things kind of fall apart because Marty starts going all Eddie Van Halen on the guitar at the end of the performance. Yeah, Marvin Berry and the Starlighters. They not only were a great band, but when Biff's gang was getting rough outside, they came and protected a couple
That's
of
true.
remember they came over.
Oh.
Yep.
So that's what I'm going with. Marvin Berry and the Starlighters. Very simple. Earth Angel. It's great scene when Marty is playing guitar with them and he's starting to fade out of existence and you hear the chords are getting more and more strained as he's looking at the picture of him and his sister and brother. 5-star movie, one of the greatest movies of all time, and I could not have that on my list. So Manster, who's your number 4?
And I can't even believe that band never even crossed my mind in making this list. So, all right. So
Does anyone else always though, like just really quick, think of the Family Guy episode all of a sudden, where instead of that, Brian is playing Marty McFly and he plays "Never Gonna Give You Up" instead. Neither one.
Right. He rickrolled everybody.
I was like,
Oh, I never saw that. No.
Oh, that was good.
so when Family Guy was still funny.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 4, I don't know if this is going to be a popular choice, but I love this band. 1991 movie called The Commitments,
Yeah.
based on 1987 novel by Roddy Doyle. Basically, it's just a Dublin band. There's this like music fanatic named Jimmy Rabbit, I think his name was, and he assembles a group of like working class guys, and they just like form a soul band, kind of like a Motown sort of band, and they just do the touring scene in the 1960s, I believe, in the style of the 1960s.
Very popular independent movie in 91.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I've got the sound. I believe there's 2 soundtracks to this movie. The actors were not really actors; they were just musicians, and basically they were cast because they had the musical background and they sort of resembled the characters in the novel. It's all existing music tracks. There's really nothing original on it. You got things like Mustang Sally, Take Me to the River, Chain of Fools, Try a Little Tenderness. Really, really good stuff. I guess the musical director had like a short list of 1,000 songs, and he narrowed it down to
just a little list.
Yeah, like 75. He narrowed it down to 75 songs. I think in the finished film, 24 of those songs were actually performed by the cast. Really, really good stuff. I couldn't let this list go without having the Commitments on it.
I've never seen it, and it's on my list of things I should see because I've always heard it's great. And one of the things, I don't know if you know this or not, but the guitar player, one of the guitar players in the Commitments is Glenn Hansard, who ended up being in Once. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. I always wanted to see that movie Once, and I guess the Commitments.
Oh,
but
Once is easily in my top 10 of the last 15 years. It's awesome.
Another movie where I've never seen it, but I really like the soundtrack. What's the band? It's like the Swell Season or something.
Swell Season, yeah.
That fucking soundtrack is tits.
Yeah, honestly, that's a movie. Yeah. That's a movie that, I would say maybe you and the boyfriend. I don't know your boyfriend's taste, but it's just a great movie. It's a great movie. It's so good. It's so simple. It's fantastic. All right, so that was the Manster.
Yeah, check out the Commitments.
The Commitments. All right, back to Ashleigh for number 3. What do you got?
Okay, so my third one, probably nobody's ever heard of it. No. But I really think that everybody needs to watch this movie. So my third pick is Hardcore Logo. And I can see the confusion on everybody's face.
Okay, where's that?
Okay, so Hardcore Logo is a movie. It's a mockumentary about a band of the same name. And it is a Canadian movie. And it didn't really make it down here to the States, but somehow it made it through my little weird.
I mean, we're close enough to Canada.
Yeah, but this is like Western Canada.
Oh, shit.
This is like British Columbia. Oh. This is Winnipeg. This is Saskatchewan.
Oh, Saskatchewan film. Don't you know?
Don't you know? So, okay, in this movie, Hardcore Logo are a punk band from Canada. It's a mockumentary that follows the band as they reunite for a benefit concert for another legendary punk musician named Bucky Haight, who is played by an actor where, like, if you saw him, you'd be like, yeah, that guy, but you could never, you would never be able to, like, yeah. The only thing that I can definitively point out that he has been in was the TV show Supernatural. Oh. I don't know if anybody's watched that, but he played the physical embodiment of death.
Oh, okay.
He was that guy, like skinny, weird looking dude.
The skinny guy.
Yeah,
that
skinny guy. The skinny guy.
Kind of,
the skinny guy.
Kind of an older guy, maybe a little bit.
At this point, he's older. Yeah.
In Supernatural, he sits down with Dean because Dean owes him his life. Yeah,
in like the fucking tiny ass diner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
He's that guy.
Okay.
Skinny guy.
But yeah, the newly reunited band go out on the road together. Hijinks ensue. It's very funny, but it's also extremely dark. It's basically Spinal Tap that's put through a 2020-2021 vector.
Oh, shit.
And like, it's funny. And while you're laughing, the existential dread is kind of washing over you because you can relate to these people on a very deep level because they are very human, even though they are a touring band. There is a cameo. I think there is a cameo in the beginning from Julian from Trailer Park Boys. I don't know if it's actually him, but I paused. I was like, what the fuck? I can't recognize him without a drink in his hand.
Yeah, it's hard without a drink in his hand.
I think it's him. I do think it's him. And that is followed by a cameo by Joey Ramone.
Oh, okay.
Right after that. They got a lot of like...
Wait, is this... So it's old? Or is it new?
This is from like 1996.
Oh, shit.
They did do a sequel to this, but apparently it wasn't that great and nobody really paid attention to it. But this original one is really, really worth watching. And it actually is on YouTube.
Oh.
So anybody can go and watch it. It has a weird German introduction, but the rest of it's in English. So I don't know. But the movie itself deals with schizophrenia, mental health issues, loneliness, jealousy, homosexuality, suicide, and the working dynamic between bandmates and why bands break up, and how like being too close to your bandmates can end up being kind of the spark of the explosion that breaks you up. The main character, his name is Joe Dick. And his right hand man is Billy Talent, which are like, they make jokes through the whole movie about how these are names that they thought up when they were like 13.
Right.
And now they're like 40 and they're like, why do we have these fucking names? They're so stupid. But Joe Dick is played by Hugh Dillon, who is a real punk musician. And he formed the band Headstones in 1987.
Shit. All right.
And has been a musician throughout his whole life, but has also done a lot of like pretty big name productions in Canada. It's really good. It's a really funny mockumentary type movie, but also it makes you realize shit's real.
Oh.
And shit can go bad really fucking easily. And we talk about these kind of bands all the time on our show. So the fact that they got it so right is almost jarring.
Like, how do you know?
It's like, this is too fucking real. This is weird, but also this is a really good movie. So if you can get your hands on it, just go to YouTube, watch this movie. It's amazing. And I have been dying to talk about this movie on any of our episodes
there you go.
for 4 years.
Right there for you.
And I finally gotten to talk about it. So finally.
I want to refer back to what I said at the beginning of the show when I said that the Rock Candy Girls researched their shit.
Yeah.
Right? That was some serious research. All right. Maggie, what was your number 3? Something we already talked about already?
Yeah, we can go with the other one I talked about was The Ain't Rights with the Manster. And then once again, I think I gave all my information.
I gave all my
I'm just glad somebody else knows that movie. That's awesome.
It's a good
and likes the band.
Good movie, but it's hard.
It's hard. It's very hard. Yeah.
It is.
Nazis are cute.
Nobody here
I'm gonna
that,
get canceled.
No, never. Never.
It is.
It's about that time.
It is the views of everyone on this podcast right now that Nazis are the fucking worst.
Nazis are bad.
They're the worst.
They're
just not cute. Sorry.
Nazis are the fucking worst. Absolute worst. All right. My number 3, as we move along on this list, I'm going to go with, there's a movie called Sing Street, which was also made by the guy who made Once, John Carney. I don't know if they ever expressly named the band Sing Street in this movie. It is a bunch of kids that go to an Irish Catholic school in Ireland, and it follows the main character as he forms a band to try to impress a girl who's a couple years older than him. It's a bunch of kids, and they actually play the instruments. The lead kid sings, plays guitar. It's a really good movie. It came out in 2016, I think. If you've ever heard any song off of this, which is probably doubtful, there's one called "Drive It Like You Stole It" that probably got the most of any play at all. The way the movie is set up is that this takes place in the 80s in Ireland. Every one of their songs, and they're making videos through the movie for their songs, is another type of 80s song. So there's a song that's very much a Duran Duran song. Drive It Like You Stole It is kind of like this really up-tempo pop song. There's another song that's very kind of Cure, more upbeat Cure, not like, not heavily like,
more like Why Can't I Be You Cure, and less like The Forest Cure.
Yeah, but
Lloyd gets what I just said.
Look,
yeah,
I love The Cure. I love everything The Cure has ever done. I love it all. So yeah, I totally get what you're talking about. Why can't I be you?
I don't care. But if you watch the movie, you'll see all of the different iterations that they're going through. You'll see the different looks during the video shots and the way the songs sound. It's a great movie. It's not simply just about the band. It's about this kid growing up in a house that the mother and father are about to get divorced. He goes to a hardcore Irish Catholic school where the priest beats the shit out of him, like that kind of thing. He's just got this.
It during the Troubles too? So
no, it's in the 80s, but that's not really a heavy part of the movie. It's just more along the lines of like this kid. It's essentially one of those old stories of I grew up here. I don't want to be here forever. I can do more, but I got to get out of here. And it's very good. I'm not a fan of Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen movie. I did not like it, but the girl who played Freddie Mercury's interest friend
Mary.
Yes, that actress. It was a couple years before that. She plays the girl this kid's in love with. It's a super affirming, life-affirming story. Look him up on YouTube. Watch the video for Drive It Like You Stole It. It takes place at a high school prom, but in the movie, he's what's the word? He's imagining that they're like a 50s style band, almost like Marvin Berry and the Starlighters. Very cool. And if you've never seen it before, check it out. Sing Street. And they go to Sing Street School. It's Synge Street. And I think that's that's where they get the name of the movie. I don't remember if they ever said the name of the band in the movie, but I'm going to go with Sing Street from Sing Street. So,
Sing Street.
Manster, you're number 3.
Yeah, I have never seen that.
Check it out. I discovered that Manster was off mic for the first half, so I'm sure it'll be fine, but you're going to hear him a little bit clearer from this choice forward.
Yeah, you'll hear me now because I'm not speaking through my laptop mic. I'm actually.
Hey, we've all been there.
Yeah.
This is flashbacks to our Weird Al Yankovic episode where we recorded the entire thing and then it
audio shit out on
itself,
us, and we had to redo the whole thing.
Oh,
the entire.
Well, let's redo it all. No.
All right, we're gonna start from the beginning.
All right,
same jokes.
All right, so my number 3 to me now.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with Straight Outta Compton, a little band called NW. Oh, never mind. All right, sorry.
Wait.
No, I'm going to go with Spinal Tap. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go with it. It's so fucking obvious.
Somebody had to.
Yep.
This is Spinal Tap from 1984, co-written and directed by Rob Reiner. His directorial debut, starring Christopher Guest, Michael Keaton, and Harry Shearer. At Spinal Tap, they were all actually musicians. They had all played together in, skits and things like that on TV. Mockumentary, I guess you could say. It's a satire on movies such as the Led Zeppelin movie.
And the band, right? It was making fun of that band.
Yeah.
Remember the band did like the band movie? The band documentary?
The band called The Band?
Yeah, the band called The Band.
I can't remember the name of that
movie.
Yeah,
and they're like the big farewell.
I know what you're talking
shit.
about. Yeah, yep, exactly.
The Last Waltz.
Yeah, that's the band.
Yeah, Strong remains the same.
Farewell.
Last Waltz. It's in that vein. Rob Reiner plays the documentary filmmaker. All the songs were written, by Christopher Guest and Harry Shearer and McKeon and Reiner, and most of the dialogue in the movie is improvised. It's just a great movie. Great music. I love that. I was born in the 1960s, and this is what I grew up with. And this is very close to my number 1, so I separated it. And so my number 2 is a little different. So yeah, this is great stuff. I love it. Nigel.
What's
Nigel
that one
Tufnell.
song about like big butts or something?
Yeah.
My 12-year-old kid just sang in the song in the car yesterday. I like big butts and I cannot. I was like,
it's not that one.
It's like
not that.
The only one I can remember is
lady
about
or something.
Stonehenge.
Oh my god!
Yeah, right.
Chinese
It's
Stonehenge.
hilarious.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We did a whole episode about Spinal Tap.
Yeah, with our friend Scott
from Writer's Bagel Basket.
It was a really fun movie to research because you didn't if you just watch it, you're like, oh, this is fun. You don't realize how much fucking musical prowess actually went into that film.
Yeah. Custom amplifier that goes up to 11.
Everything went to 11.
The guy's like, well, can't you just make 10 a little higher? He goes, it goes to 11.
Goes to 11.
It goes to 11.
I like when Nigel is playing that piano piece that's very subtle.
Oh yeah.
And the guy's like, that was very beautiful. What do you call it? He's like, lick my love pump. Period. The greatest scene in that movie, I think, is when they get lost backstage. And they keep walking around and around, and they keep passing by the same janitor.
Yep.
And it's like it starts with them being really pumped, and even though they're lost, they're like, rock and roll.
Yeah, because if you ever watched any of those pretentious, reverential documentaries, that's the way they were.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
But the best running joke through the whole thing was they had rotating drummers because every drummer died in a freak accident.
Yeah, one of
like
them.
Didn't one of them die of vomit, swallowing vomit, but not his own?
Yeah.
Yes.
Spontaneous combustion, right? Was one of them.
Yeah, spontaneous combustion. That was one.
All right. Well, someone had to pick that.
Someone had to go there, and I figured it'd be me.
Someone had to go there.
You're welcome.
All right, we're into number 2s. Ashleigh, who's your number 2?
Okay, so again, I picked one that's kind of out of left field, and it's pretty much all of the bands in the movie Velvet Goldmine.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right.
Have any of you seen
I have not.
Velvet Goldmine?
No,
saw
I
it.
haven't.
So this movie was actually supposed to be a biopic on David Bowie, but David Bowie was like, fuck all y'all, you're not doing this. And he disapproved of all of it and refused to give up the rights to his music. So the writers turned it into a fictional story that is loosely based on Bowie's life, but also some other musicians.
Very much the Ziggy Stardust period.
Absolutely, very much.
Oh, yeah.
It's very glam rock.
I'm
So-
surprised I've never seen this then.
So Jonathan Rhys-Meyers plays this guy named Brian Slade, who is an androgynous 1970s glam rock musician performing under the pseudonym Maxwell Demon. His character is the one that is based on David Bowie. And together with his band, they form Venus in Furs. So that is like the main band that is running through Velvet Goldmine.
Mhm.
Right.
But then we have Ewan McGregor, who is Kurt Wilde, a glammy punk rock dude with an I don't give a fuck attitude. And he is based on a combination of Iggy Pop and Lou Reed.
Interesting.
Yes.
Because I would think they were going for the Mark Bolan T-Rex ad or angle there.
That is Brian Slade. So those guys, and T-Rex comes into it later.
Oh my god.
It's so convoluted, but it's fantastic. So there's another band called the Fabulous Creatures or something that is actually the band real band Placebo, who plays the Fabulous Creatures, and they are based on T-Rex. It's crazy. It's convoluted.
When do I get to
It
talk
is
about
very.
McGregor's dick?
Whoa.
Well,
Ooh.
you can see Ewan McGregor's stick if you really want to
Yeah.
in this movie.
You can
He's
pause
just-
it.
You can pause it.
Is there anything to do
allow
with
it.
the band The Creatures with Susie and the Banshee, Susie and Budgie?
No,
No,
it has
oh, that's
nothing.
too bad.
I think it came out. Yeah, I don't think that was really a thing. When
No,
this
they
movie
weren't a
came
thing yet.
out.
I've heard of this movie and I knew it was Ewan McGregor and Rhys-Meyers. I didn't know that it was supposed to be
Yeah,
kind of like a falsified or not falsified, a fictitious account of David Bowie and Iggy Pop's time.
very,
Huh.
Okay.
very much. So the story centers around Maxwell Demon and Kurt Wilde's relationship, as well as Maxwell Demon's increasingly destructive behavior, culminating in him faking his death on stage during a performance. So it strongly parallels the story in David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars album. And it also parallels the true story of David's relationships with Lou Reed and Iggy Pop in the 70s and 80s.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Also, we have Christian Bale,
Oh my
who
god.
is a journalist who is writing a story on the rise and fall of Maxwell Demon. So his storyline takes place in 1984 and is the through line of the whole movie. So Christian Bale's character is interviewing all of these people that were in with Brian Slade and with Kurt Wilde and all of them. And then when he's interviewing them, you're flashing back to the
Okay.
70s and all of these like crazy fucking shit that's going on during the glam rock period. But also Toni Collette plays Brian Slade's wife, Mandy, and she is clearly based on Angie Bowie.
Oh, see, now I have to see this. I want to see how they portray that.
So good. It is so good. But like all of the music that they have in there, there's a lot of covers of, songs of the time, but also there's originals. It's not the greatest music, but it's really fun to watch. It's really fun to look at because Jonathan Rhys-Meyers and Ewan McGregor are really great performers, period. So like there's one particular scene when Ewan McGregor's flopping his dick in everybody's faces where he's on stage and like there's nothing, crazy about the set or his costume or anything. He's just wearing leather pants and that's it. He's in front of a very antagonizing group of people in the audience and he's like, well, fuck you. I'm going to give you the middle finger. I'm going to throw glitter at you. I'm going to shove my dick in your face. And these people light the stage on fire. And he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, light the stage on fire. Give me it all. Whatever. I don't care. And that's pretty much the whole movie is just super glam rock and very much wants to tell you the story of 70s London when glam rock was a thing. And people that were really into it, and they want to tell you that story through the lens of what David Bowie would have given to everybody if he were actually involved in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It touches a lot on homosexuality and how it was not accepted at all in 60s and 70s culture
80s,
period.
90s.
And they actually make, like I said, Kurt Wild's character was based a lot on Lou Reed, and Lou Reed went through electroshock therapy to get rid of the homosexuality feelings, and they put that into Kurt Wild's backstory too. So it deals a lot with like coming to terms with it and you being okay with it, even if nobody else around you is okay with it.
I think Manster's going to watch this tonight.
Yeah, I'll be checking that out.
It's so good.
He's going to watch this before he watches Arrested Development.
You can also get this one on YouTube.
He's never going to watch that.
Oh, it's on you. Okay.
You can also get this one on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
Kind of a melange of the different fake musicians in Velvet Goldmine.
Yes, there are a lot of them. So I'm putting them all into one little spot here.
All right, we're back. Number 2 to Maggie, and you get to pick. You throw a pick out there now. It's been 2 in a row that we usurped from you.
That stole from me. I swear to God, if somebody steals my number 1, I'm gonna be like, "Come on, guys." Also, I feel like I can't follow up. Ashleigh is really good.
I'm sorry. I'm very enthusiastic about Velvet Goldmine. It's a great.
You also are picking like movies that none of us have heard of, so we're like, well, you need to sit down and tell us about everything because we don't know shit. I'm picking things that people know.
All right, now it's Ashleigh's story time. Let me tell you about this movie.
All right, everybody, it's time for Ashleigh to tell it. It's like that time I did paper bag puppets to explain Game of Thrones to our friend Beth.
There were a lot of paper bag puppets.
You explain the plot of Game of Thrones with paper bags?
Like 4 seasons of Game of Thrones with paper bag
We made
puppets.
60 paper bag puppets. a friend of ours was going to watch season premiere of like season 5, and we're like,
no, you need backstory.
You need background.
But didn't she have HBO like Go or Max where she could just go back and?
No, we were like, it's fine. Actually, and I was like, it's fine.
Please,
we
want to do this.
We're gonna make 50 to 60 hand puppets with
oh my god, that's awesome.
And do the entire story. I have it all recorded on my computer.
We have it recorded, but the best part was when we took Tormund Giantsbane and Brienne and just made them kiss.
Oh no, the best.
Is this available for your Patreon?
I mean, maybe
I do have some video.
we took the Patreon down, but I mean,
wow.
Actually, no. The best was when we had to burn Khal Drogo, and it got a little out of hand, and I was a little worried that we're gonna set the house on fire.
Yeah,
but other than that, it was fine.
Did you keep these puppets?
Do we? No, I don't know what happened to that. I think she got rid of them.
Oh no!
Oh man!
I know.
I feel like we found them though.
No, we found a picture of them, but
no, we found them.
I mean, I didn't. Anyway, yes, I have another band to talk about.
All right, number 2.
Number 2.
Right. So my number 2 is the Misfits from Gem and the Holograms.
Oh, I've heard that this is the name of the villains, right?
Yeah.
They are the Misfits. Their songs are better. They even say it in the Gem theme song.
That they're better than actual Misfits?
We are the Misfits. Our songs are better. Their songs are better than Gem's. And you know what? They fucking are. Let's fucking sit down for a real quick second. So anybody who doesn't know Gem, she's truly outrageous. Truly outrageous. 80s cartoon, Hasbro shit where they're like, we want to sell toys. It's Lloyd's favorite, actually. He loves toys. I don't know if y'all knew this.
Love toys.
So, it's just another show that they created to sell toys, especially little girls.
Yep.
Another kind of Barbie. So you have Gem and the Holograms, and they're like the good band. And then you have the Misfits, who are like, they're the bad band. They're like the antagonists. But here's the thing. Let's stop for a hot second. All right. So Gem and the Holograms is really I believe her name was Jerica. And she's like this regular girl, and she finds this computer program that her dad left her called Synergy. And she wears these earrings and says, when she needs to be Gem, she says it's showtime, Synergy. And like the computer program makes her Gem. She looks exactly the same. She just has pink hair and it's a beautiful mullet.
And the mullets are beautiful in Gem, honestly.
Honestly, they are fucking peak mullets. But like, they're cheating. Like,
they're kind of cheating.
The Misfits are legit musicians. And then Gem comes in and she's like, well, I don't like you because like, you know, like the evil guy who's trying to take over my company hired you. And it's like,
It sounds like Jem's the villain.
You know what? Honestly, I've been revisiting this now. However, okay, so you have the Misfits, and they're like legit musicians. They fucking worked their way up. Like Pizzazz, the lead singer, she comes from a broken home where her parents were shit. And she's like, I'm finally fucking making it. And then Jem walks in. She's like, no, I'm better. My daddy owned this company. And she's like, are you shitting me? So like all of Jem and her hologram songs are just like about like, oh my God, love. And I love my boyfriend. Oh my God, everything's so great. It's so cute.
It's kind of like it's kind of like Jem and the holograms are the Bangles.
And the Misfits are the Go-Go's.
No, the Misfits are the Runaways.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Ooh.
I was gonna.
I just started thinking about Kim. I just started thinking about Kim Fowley, and that's never good.
I was gonna go with the comparison of how people, even before Cobra Kai, were starting to say that like Johnny wasn't the bad guy. Daniel like came along and took his girl and ruined his life. It's almost the same.
Thanks, Patton Oswalt.
Yeah,
and I see what you're saying too. It's interesting. Like the Misfits, they come along, they've been playing, they're doing all these gigs, they're learning their instruments, and then through superheroics of some sort, a computer program, Jem is now like the biggest thing on earth. Interesting. And that movie, by the way, there was a live action movie like 5 years ago. Remember? One of the biggest box office losers of all time.
Well, you know what it was? They didn't fucking have the Misfits in it.
Oh,
they
really?
were like,
that's why.
Was really weird. It was really weird too, because it was like they modified it to be like today. So it's like it was one of those things like we're gonna like update it, but they did it all wrong.
Jem is like thoroughly entrenched in the 80s.
Yeah, like or they still could have done it in today's times, just better.
Yeah.
But like also with the Misfits, like their songs are about like fuck you, I'm taking that, it's mine. Like they are about female empowerment. They are like
they were
I don't
feminists. They wrote their own songs. They're the Riot Girls of the 1980s.
They really are.
1980s cartoons, anyway.
Seriously. Pizzazz was voiced by Patricia Alice Albrecht. That's pretty much like the main thing she did. Although apparently later she became a poet.
Good for her.
And then wrote like a poetry book about Pizzazz. Or at least she wrote a poem about her. I don't know. It was cute.
You actually misread that. She wrote a poetry book about pizza.
Oh my God.
I would too.
I could fuck a pizza right now.
Pizza's good. Pizza is good.
And I think like the music aspect of Jem was one of those things that got kind of added in last minute, like of actually having the music in it, because like at that point in the 80s, they saw how popular MTV was, and they're like, oh, we should like do music videos in this. Like every episode had at least 2 music videos.
That's how New Kids on the Block got their own animated show.
That's right. But also what was kind of sketchy is that the Misfits did break the law in every single episode, never got arrested. Like they definitely did some tax evasion. They definitely did some kidnapping. I think they set a fire or 2.
I was going to say,
Scooby-Doo effect.
Wow.
Right. When you said tax evasion, I was like, well, that's white collar. But then you said kidnapping and arson. And that's
larceny.
Yeah.
Back in the early 2010s, they put it on Netflix. And I'm watching it and I'm like, they're breaking the law a lot and not going
like
to
hardcore
jail.
breaking the law.
They almost murdered. I will say they did almost murder Jem and the Holograms a few times and not accidentally. And I was like, they should be in jail.
It's not like they just went to the corner store and stole a pack of gum. They are literally kidnapping and attempting to murder people.
Yeah, not just manslaughter, like first murder.
No, it was like real murder.
Yeah.
So I did build them up a lot because I love them and I think that they just got the raw end of the deal. But they did also try to murder people. I'm like, how are you not in jail?
But they did attempt the murder.
Didn't we all, though?
Yeah. We've all tried it once in a great while. So
I don't think any of us have. You know,
or at least thought of it. Thought of it.
All right. So that was Maggie's number 2. It's my number 2 as well. So the Misfits from Jem and the Hologram. No, I'm fucking with you.
I got it.
My number 2 is a band that is not very good in the actual movies that we see them in because they haven't gotten to where they have to get yet. But there's a lot going on there. They've been told that their music is going to bring the world together and save the world. It's Ted Theodore Logan and Bill S. Preston Esquire, a.k.a. Wild Stallions from the Bill and Ted films.
Nice.
Yeah, they're terrible. As we see at the end of the first movie, they're both guitar players. They could barely play. In the second movie, at the very end, we get the great scene where they play like kind of an instrumental version of the Kiss version of God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too. Band now has Station on percussion. Death is their bass player. And if you saw the last movie, we finally get the scene where we find out whether they do or don't save the world. Why I gotta go Wild Stallions. It's just, I love those movies. I love the fact that there really isn't any music to really hang their hat on, because there's no songs in the movies actually, except for that God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
I love that song.
The fact that they were, I guess foreshadowed to bring the world together through music is such a great idea. I wish someone could do that now. I'm going to give it to Wild Stallions. So Keanu Reeves and what the fuck's his name? Tip my tongue. Alex Winter. And I love all three of those movies. It's the third movie to me is one of those rare movies that comes out 20 plus years after the last one, and I really fucking enjoyed it. I felt like they got the heart right. That was the important part. I laughed when I had to laugh, and it made me smile. So there we go. Wild Stallions. Manster, what's your number 2?
Somehow I knew that would be in your top 5. I don't know how, but I knew it. My top 5 is a little film 2010 by Edgar Wright called Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Sex Ba-Bomb.
That's your number 2?
That's my number 2, yep.
All right, let's move back down to Ashleigh. It's number 1 time now.
Oh, it's number 1 time. Ooh.
Oh, I wanted this one. I let you have it. You're welcome.
You let me have it? I was like, no, I'm taking this one.
She did. She misfisted me.
Yeah, so
like, fuck you, I'm taking this.
It's mine.
Literally, it's mine. So my number 1, of course, is Crucial Taunt from Wayne's World.
Oh, man.
Cassandra,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot that was the name of the band.
Have you seen the bassist? She can really wail.
Every time I wrote this in Microsoft Word, for some reason, it changed taunt to taint.
Of course.
So it became Crucial Taint every single time.
You know what? That should have been their name.
They missed opportunity, honestly. Crucial Taunt is headed up by Tia Carrera's character, Cassandra Wong. Mm-hmm. The band impresses Wayne and Garth enough for Wayne to fall in love with Cassandra.
She will be mine.
She will be mine. As Dreamweaver plays.
Dreamweaver. Gary Wright.
I'm being neat. Okay. But also catches the eye of Pralines and Dick bad guy Benjamin Cain, played by Rob Lowe.
Pralines and Dick.
Pralines and Dick. So Crucial Taunt plays 3 songs in the first movie. Touch Me, which is playing when they go to the club.
Yeah.
The club that they go to is called Gasworks, which is an actual real club in Toronto that Rush got their footings in.
Yes.
Oh, really?
So that's a real place.
Wrap it back around to Rush. Nice.
They always back to Rush.
Right.
And they played Why You Want to Break My Heart and a cover of Ballroom Blitz, originally by the band The Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So Why You Want to Break My Heart was also a cover originally released in 1984 by a guy named Dwight Twilley.
I'm sure he sounded half as good as Cassandra.
Yeah. But interestingly, only Why You Want to Break My Heart and Ballroom Blitz were on the Wayne's World soundtrack, and they were only credited to Tia Carrera.
Interesting.
Not the actual band Crucial Taunt, even though the other musicians that played the other musicians in the band were actual musicians that they just hired to, perform in the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, they probably didn't actually play the actual recordings, right? Maybe they were just like,
I think that they did.
Really?
I think they did actually play on the recordings, but they just were essentially session musicians for those recordings, and they only credited them to Tia Carrera, which I guess is fine. Fucking Ballroom Blitz is one of the best covers I have ever heard in my life.
That's the best Ballroom Blitz.
It is the best version of Ballroom Blitz. Absolutely.
So good.
And session musicians don't get enough props, man. Those guys are awesome.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
There is a documentary called Hired Gun.
Yeah.
That talks all about session musicians and how they get their jobs and
how they get fucked over.
How they get royally fucked over.
Especially by Billy Joel.
Especially by Billy Joel. Billy Joel, if you like Billy Joel, don't watch it because you're gonna fucking hate Billy Joel after
No, you know what? If you like Billy Joel, watch it because nobody
then you'll get the
Billy
truth.
Joel.
Yeah,
exactly. Because he's a fucking dick to his musicians.
He's a bad man.
He killed that drummer, Liberty DeVito. He destroyed that guy's life. He fired him out of nowhere, and it was with him for like 30 years.
And he's like driven into people's houses because he drunk drives all the time.
Or he really wants a pizza.
And he really wants a pizza. So he's got to drunk drive to the pizza place because delivery is apparently not a thing in Long Island.
It sometimes isn't. I'm not lying. Long Island's the worst.
Long Island's weird, guys.
Shout out to the Long Island listeners out there.
They're gone. They're all gone now. It's okay.
Don't drink and go get a delivery pizza that you could have just had delivered to your house.
Yeah, really, Billy Joel. Just have a fucking like a Papa John's installed into your house,
Or just hire a sober person to drive you there.
Yeah,
you're Billy Joel. Anyone will drive you there. Or just have them go get the pizza and bring it to your house.
Tell the pizza place I'm Billy fucking Joel. I'll give you $100 fucking dollars.
Seriously.
That's for a tip. Well, I gotta say, I love Wayne's World. I was maybe a senior in high school when the movie came out.
Such a good movie. Both of them, both 1 and 2 are great.
2 is so different, but it is great. I watched it again recently. The humor is way different in 2. They went for a different type of movie, but it works. And plus you get the inclusion of Christopher Walken as Bobby,
Yeah.
And
Chris Farley.
Great. Chris Farley, you're right. Chris Farley. What's his name? Kevin Pollak as a partial ocular albino. That's a great scene.
I forgot.
And who's Olivia Diabo? She works in the notary office. She plays the female Garth.
Yes.
There's so many great little jokes in that movie.
I gotta rewatch it. It's been so long.
But also the first one is so iconic. Literally every scene is amazing, and it's one of the few movies. One of the few movies that I can pretty much quote off the top of my head. And if I'm watching it word for word, like that, Empire Records and all the Lord of the Rings movies. Like, you want me to quote it? I can say it all along while we're watching the movie.
Yeah, but
you play movie buff.
Can you do any of the Elvish?
Oh God, no.
Okay. Because there's levels of nerds that can. So I just wanted to know if you were in that
I'm
level.
not that level yet.
Okay.
She is very useful to have when you're watching the movies because you're going to have questions and you're like, why this? And she's going to pause and be like, all right, so here's what happened.
Okay, get ready.
Get ready. I'm getting my paper mache puppets out. This is the Balrog. All right. The Balrog.
So he's down here in Moria and he's just minding his own fucking business. And then Pippin's up here like, ooh, let me touch things. And,
See? I actually kind of want you guys to transition into a video podcast.
That sounds like a new podcast.
Where you just take paper bag puppets and explain, or just don't even explain
it. Just dumb down Lord of the Rings for people.
Everything, Star Wars, whatever anybody wants. All 15 Fast and the Furious movies. You could make paper mache cars.
I'd have to watch one of them.
We can call it.
Diesel.
Yeah, we can call it Bag Ins of the Ring.
Get out.
I'm sorry. I'm done.
We got to copyright all this before it goes to air.
All right.
Hey.
Let's get over to Maggie, her number 1.
All right. So my number 1 is going to be Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
I knew it.
From Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Musical written by John Cameron Mitchell. And that is he was approached, I think, by like the Sundance Movie Company to turn it into a film. It was a 98 musical. They're like, hey, make this a film. And he's like, all right. Reprise the role in the film. That is like my preferred method. I did see it on Broadway with Neil Patrick Harris, though I kind of wish I saw it with Michael C. Hawks. I think that would have been more interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the preferred method is the original. Yeah, I have a ton on this. I mean, I don't know if people don't know about Hedwig and the Angry Inch. If you don't, what are you doing with your life?
I literally know the title, and I think, stop me if I'm wrong, or stop me if I sound like an asshole. Is it about a transgendered rock star Is that what it is?
It's not necessarily transgender. I would say intersex.
Yeah, I would say intersex is probably a better way to explain it.
How do you define that?
Basically, what happens is it's a German immigrant who comes over to America after he had fallen in love with this doctor, and I believe was it that he fell in love with a doctor, he fell in love with a very wealthy dude who was like, man, but like I kind of wish you were a woman.
I think it was a doctor.
And then
don't quote me on that.
He got a botched surgery to get his penis removed. And what ends up happening is there's like an inch mound of flesh where his dick used to be.
Okay.
But like identifies as a female. It's not like very cut and dry. But one of the things I really like about it is
kind of like that though.
Yeah, like one of the things I enjoy about Hedwig and the Angry Inch is like Hedwig never comes out and is like, I'm a man, I'm a woman. Like, I mean, kind of does like,
which is kind of revolutionary for when it was written and released, because it was it the 90s that it was released,
90s, yeah.
Which you didn't hear about any of this.
No,
and it could have been something that people latched onto to make fun of, but I think people took it and embraced it because it was a musical.
Yeah, because Hedwig comes over to the States, falls in love with this younger musician named Tommy something. I forgot his full name. Kind of like takes him under her wing and like shows him the ropes. He ends up becoming a massively successful musician, and she's like, but fuck you, like, and completely disavows Hedwig and is like, no, I don't know her. Apparently she's a man. I didn't even know that. But like he was in love with her too, I think. I don't know. And so like then she and her band, the Angry Inch, follow him around the country on his tour, kind of like in his shadow, and like plays like all these dive locations, and like throughout the musical tells her story about what happens. That's how you found out about the Angry Inch. And it's really, the music is fucking amazing. Like it stands on its own for sure. It's a very good movie. And it is kind of interesting how it does look at gender in a much more fluid way, which I think is, it's one of the reasons it holds up still, is because it's so gender fluid. And that's how I feel like a lot of us are kind of starting to view it as like, it's not black and white. You don't have to identify as like a singular sex or gender. I think like you can kind of just say like, I am who I am. And like, that's what is really cool about Hedwig, is like, she's just got this fucking tude, and she's got this like persona, and she knows who she is no matter what.
And this movie was like plopped down on Earth like sometime in the 90s.
Yeah, like 2001 was when the movie came out.
That was when the movie came out. So 2000-ish was when it was plopped down on Earth, and it's just been waiting for us to catch up to it.
Yeah.
When it comes to like gender and identity and trans people and stuff like that, we've been trying to catch up to Hedwig instead of the other way around, where this could have been very much a movie of its time. It's not at all.
It's ahead of its time.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. At least 20 years ahead of its time.
And again, the soundtrack, you could just go listen to the soundtrack without watching the movie, and very much enjoy it. The music's very like rock, glam, rockabilly, even like some indie rock in there. I feel like it really kind of spreads the gamut as far as sound.
If this has any like weight on it, like, I hate musicals. I viscerally hate musicals.
Yeah, me too.
But I like Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
All right, cool.
It's not a typical musical.
It's not. For instance, Typo Negative covered the Angry Inch, and in, I think, either Dead Inside or Dead Again, or not Life is Killing Me or Dead Again. On one of those albums, they covered it, and they're like, Typo Negative can be really homophobic.
Yeah.
So just the fact that a band like Typo Negative covered this song, or covered the Angry
Hedwig
Inch
at all,
and covered Hedwig at all, and put it on an album that they internationally released,
right,
that shows you like how broad reaching this musical is.
The scope. I've read about this. I've never seen it, but I have read about it, and I absolutely want to check it out. I'll talk to you.
You'd enjoy it.
The movie is very good. Yeah. So watch Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Watch Velvet Goldmine. Watch Hardcore Logo. Watch all of these things that we have brought to you.
You're broadening our minds. Yeah.
You don't have to watch Gem and the Holograms, though. You
don't have to.
No.
I mean, you watch the old cartoon. Watch the old cartoon. That's good.
Just
That's
buy some toys. It's fine.
I'm only telling him not to watch it because I'm thinking that like Netflix might have some kind of algorithm that if a guy born in the 60s starts ripping through seasons of Gem and the Holograms, that like the FBI van might pull in.
It might show up at the house.
They get an alert.
At the new house,
like,
yeah.
This Lloyd
They're
guy
like,
seems to be really into Gem and the
Holograms. This guy
doesn't look right.
He's middle-aged.
His YouTube search history is just real fucking weird.
He's middle-aged. He just got divorced. He has a brand new house. Yeah, let's check this fucking guy out.
Yeah.
Who is this guy talking to? Jesus Christ.
All right, my number one is probably the complete and total opposite in terms of like what you can do musically differently than the last two choices we've heard. I guess the word you would use nowadays is just like white bread, cisgendered, white guy rock. But I don't care because it's a movie that if it's on TV,
I think I know what it is.
If it's on TV, I'm watching it. If I catch it 3 minutes in, I'm watching it. If I catch it 58 minutes in, I'm watching it. It is just a feel-good, easygoing movie with a band that consists of these people in it. James Mattingly, Lenny Hayes, Guy Patterson, and TB Player, aka the bass player.
Oh no, okay, I enjoy this. Yes, okay.
Yes, it's the that thing you do.
I'm glad somebody brought it up because I can't believe you didn't.
I didn't pick it because it would have been so like typical of me to pick this, but I'm glad that you guys did.
I think it's a very obvious choice in this. I couldn't let nobody get it out there. It was on mine no matter what. I love this movie. I love the performances in this movie. It's where we kind of learned the genius of Steve Zahn. It's made by Tom Hanks, right?
Steve Zahn is amazing.
Steve Zahn's amazing. Ethan
and nobody
Embry.
Appreciates him.
I love him.
You got drunk Ashleigh very excited about Steve Zahn.
You get me drunk, I will go on forever about Steve Zahn.
I just recently watched that with my wife, that 8-Bit Christmas, and it was a terrible movie, but Steve Zahn was in it, so at least I felt good that Steve Zahn was in it.
And also, people underappreciate Ethan Embry.
Ethan Embry is great.
He's amazing.
He's great.
He's great as the bass player.
The bass player who they never name in the movie, so his name is TB Player. He didn't become a household name, but Tom Everett Scott, who was kind of like Tom Hanks's
like protege
in the movie. Protege.
Yeah.
Guy Patterson and Jimmy Mattingly, who was I can't remember the actor's name.
Jimmy.
It will come to me. But he was great too. He plays the petulant artist in the group.
Jimmy, what's his face?
Jimmy Mattingly,
the douchebag.
He's the
Jimmy
douchebag.
Yeah, Jimmy Douchebag. That's his
Jimmy
name.
Douchebag. Great. It's a great movie. I quit. Yeah.
I wish I could bet. Maggie, did you see this?
I did for our podcast again when we were on.
I'm the only one who
basket.
hasn't seen it.
You've never seen that thing you do?
I've never seen that thing you do.
You've never seen it?
I feel like such a loser right now.
So good.
It is like I just said, it is literally one of those movies that from beginning to end, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to watch this movie.
It is like it's an easy breezy film.
It's kind of like watch it. It's kind of like when I watch Great British Baking Show for the 500th time. I'm watching it because I want to feel good inside.
Yeah.
So I would watch That Thing You Do because I want to feel good inside.
Yeah. Giovanni Ribisi is in it, like a small part. It's got a great cast, and it's just such a fucking good movie.
And Tom Hanks.
And Tom Hanks as
and
Mr.
his
White.
wife, right?
And Rita Wilson is in it.
Rita Wilson plays the woman that
the waitress.
The waitress that one of them sleeps with, right? I can't remember who.
Shades doesn't really sleep with her. I think he just stays up all night talking to her at the bar.
She tries to take him home, and he just talks to her.
He is a gentleman, and he's like, no.
Correct.
He's dating. No, he's not dating anybody. Jimmy's dating Liv Tyler, and he's in love with Liv Tyler.
Right.
He's in love with Liv Tyler. And if you ever get to see the director's cut, you get to find out in that Mr. White, the Tom Hanks character, is gay. He has a boyfriend played by Howie Long.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is
like the director's cut.
In the director's cut. which they don't touch on in the movie. And you might say, why is this important? But it was a great thing for him to put something like that in to a story set in the 60s, right?
It's kind of like a Brian Epstein thing. Like, nobody really knew that Brian Epstein was gay, but he was known for being this like very eccentric, but also really great manager because he basically made the Beatles' career.
Right.
So he kind of like linked that in there, which I appreciate.
By the way, there's a really good graphic novel called The Fifth Beatle. It's all about Brian Epstein.
It's all about Brian Epstein. Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to read it. I've heard it's quite good.
I have that. Someone.
Yeah, I gave that to you.
You gave I gave it to you. Yeah. I knew someone gave it to me. All right. So, Manster, I can't stress this enough. Pretty Please with Sugar on Top. This week, watch That Thing You Do. I feel like I feel like I have to bother you daily because I don't think there's no way you're gonna come back and go.
We should even do like a Zoom viewing of this. Because
let's do that, or Twitch, or whatever the hell they.
Well, we mentioned earlier, Adam Schlesinger from Fountains of Wayne wrote all the songs. Obviously, the big song is That Thing You Do, which is their big hit. Last year at the beginning of COVID, he passed away, and the entire cast and crew. I think Tom Hanks was like filming, but all the band members, they did at the beginning when those Zoom things were just starting. They did a Zoom watch along.
They did. It was really sweet.
It was really good. And Zahn was there, and they were all there.
Also, like the whole fucking soundtrack to this movie slaps.
Yes.
Not just the Onighters.
No,
not just the Onighters. Oh, what was his name? The crooner guy.
Mr. What was it? Mr. Saturday?
Downtown.
Mr. Downtown.
Yeah, that guy. He was great. Also, the lady that Jimmy kind of has like alludes to an affair with. She had some great shit. And there was also the girl group that was modeled after like the Supremes and stuff. They were really good. And like the bass player was in the eaves of the stage, just like clapping along to their song. That was really great.
Yeah, well, because they also.
I fucking love the soundtrack.
I was gonna say, I can't believe you didn't.
I could not tell that at all.
I'm glad John did.
I love it. I figured somebody else probably would, so I didn't pick it.
John, though, if you're gonna tell the Manster they used to watch it, you have to read the Brian Epstein book, though.
Yeah,
that's fair. I have to find it.
You need to do an exchange.
I have to find it first.
You have to find it in your piles and piles of books.
It is, by the way, it was going to drive me nuts. Jonathan Skake played Jimmy Mattingly.
Yeah,
Shake.
sure.
He was married to Christina Applegate at one point. I remember that. But yeah, it's a fantastic movie. It's so badass, and
then he and Liv Tyler were in another movie together, like right after this.
Oh, really?
The Abbotts? Meet the Abbotts?
Oh, Meet the Abbotts. Yeah, with Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah. Yep. All right, Manster, obviously your answer is not going to be the Oneaters.
All right, so my answer, I can 99.9% guarantee you that my answer is what Ashleigh thought your answer was.
Probably, yeah.
So I'm giving you the white bread, cisgendered male, born in the 60s answer. Stillwater from Almost Famous.
Somebody had to pick it.
All right.
That's what I thought it was.
I know you thought that's
somebody
what it
was. I was like, white male cisgender.
And I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm sorry. I was born. I was a big Led Zeppelin fan.
I was born and I am not 60s. Apologizing for this.
Unlike Sting, I was born in the 50s. I was born in the 60s. And this freaking semi-autobiographical story about Cameron Crowe growing up, being a journalist, touring with Led Zeppelin.
With the band, right? Oh, Led Zeppelin. I don't know. I never saw Almost Famous.
Me either.
Oh, it's so good.
Fuck, really?
It's really
Why would I?
Do I need to?
It's a really good movie.
It's a really good movie.
I think you would enjoy it. I really think you would enjoy it. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
You know what? We should do a viewing of that because I want to disappoint them,
right?
Like in real time,
right?
No, I don't want to be disappointed. No.
But you need to hear us MST3K this movie.
Oh, it's not bad.
Fair.
It's not a bad movie at all. It's really good. Especially the halfway point when they all are at a turning point in the bus and they all like break out singing Tiny
Dancer.
Yeah. That is literally
the only thing I know about that movie. Is they all like
that, and probably the line "I am a golden god."
No,
they don't.
You don't. He
That's
jumps off.
Yeah,
he's on the roof. Yeah,
they're on the road and they end up at like a house party. Like they end up at a house party and they're 70s and they're all on drugs and the lead singer gets on the roof of the house and he's gonna jump in the pool, and the kid who's like the journalist who's like trying to like maintain his sanity amongst all this shit. It's just like trying to get him to stop, and he gets up on the roof and he's about to dive in. And he goes, and what does he say? You could write this for Rolling Stone. My last words are, I am on drugs. He says, I am on drugs. And the kid's like, what? And then I am a golden god. There's another great scene where they think they're dying in a plane crash. And as the plane's going down, like the drummer who doesn't say a word in the whole movie is just like, I'm gay. And then the plane writes itself. It's a really good. Yeah. It's a really good movie.
Okay, that's kind of funny. I would watch that.
All right. Yeah. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a fair shot.
It's really good. Cameron Crowe, obviously, he was a journalist just like the child in the movie, teenager.
Yep.
Originally, the character Russell Hammond was supposed to be played by Brad Pitt, and he went all the way through rehearsals. And then he and Cameron Crowe decided it's really just not a right fit for me. So he bailed out. And that's when they got, is it Billy Crudup?
Billy Crudup, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's like kind of unrecognizable in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's kind of unrecognizable anyways, but like you really lose him in that role.
He's a pretty generic looking dude.
Yeah. He's a very generic looking dude. And who's the lead singer? It's Jason Lee, right? Jason Lee's the lead singer in that one.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
No, he's not the singer. Jason Lee is
Jason Lee's the singer,
maybe.
No, Jason Lee's the lead
singer.
Who's the lead singer then, Lloyd?
I don't know. I haven't
seen
it.
They're gonna fight.
In a couple years.
I'm watching it in real time.
They're gonna
It's Jason
Lee.
Fight.
All right.
It's Jason Lee.
And Patrick Fugit, whatever, however you say his name, he's the kid.
Fugazi.
Patrick Fugazi.
Enough.
All right.
Yeah, it's basically a band based on Led Zeppelin. Hey,
it's a solid choice. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah,
I get frustrated with that movie because the Kate Hudson character pisses me off so much. She's just like kind of playing around with this kid's like.
I think that's just a Kate Hudson thing.
Kate Hudson.
Yeah.
I think if they cast a different woman, it wouldn't feel. And I feel like a lot of the promotional material makes it kind of about her because they're she's that pretty blonde girl.
There has to be some kind of like relationship dynamic going on for it to be an interesting, worthwhile watch.
This is gonna bring the ladies in.
Well, that's part of the thing with the movie I think maybe you would find more interesting is that she's a groupie that like desperately wants the people in the band to accept her, and they're essentially just using her for what they use her for. And the kid who's kind of close to her age in the other way, but he's younger, really cares for her. So it's like this weird kind of I'm gonna tell you, I think you should check it out. And
it's a really good movie.
Yeah, I don't think at the end, I don't think you're gonna go, that was fucking terrible. You might go, I didn't dig it, but I think you'll at least be able to say that was an interesting approximation of what life on the road might have been like in 1974 or whatever.
We can find the value.
Well, let's put it this way: it's not going to be Strangeland.
No, it's not Strangeland.
That's
sure.
And
it's not Hedwig
for
either.
Our podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Let's talk real quick about what we're going to be doing soon on Rock Candy. One of the final episodes. What you just said it. What movie did you make us watch, for Christ's sakes?
So sorry. By the way,
we made ourselves watch it too.
Yeah, we had to watch it too, and man, that was a trip.
You know what? I think we should just leave it at that. We watched Strangeland, which is written and directed and starring D. Snyder.
Yeah, and, so we're going to be talking about it.
1998 classic. It's coming up this month on the Rock Candy podcast. So if y'all really love John and Manster,
come back.
Come check it out.
Check it out. Hey, do y'all have honorable mentions for our?
Yes, we do.
So
we didn't
say
we're
one
at
of us
2 hours. We're at 2 hours, so let's make the honorable mentions a quick honorable mentions because I got to.
It's just Death Clock.
I bet you we have some commonality.
Mention
is Death Clock.
It's just Death
Clock. We didn't know who should talk about it, although I guess now I see it should have been me.
But also, Death Clock is kind of a real band now.
It really is.
Because
thanks, Brandon Smalls.
Both of us saw Death Clock in concert.
Mm-hmm.
Concert.
That was a cartoon originally, right?
On Adult Swim.
It was originally a cartoon from the show Metalocalypse, which is an amazing show, and I'm very upset that it's no longer on the air.
Movie's coming out.
There is a movie coming out.
So get ready for that. It's fucking hilarious. They take a piss take on all metal, and the songs are also kind of piss takey, but
they're also really good.
Fucking amazingly
Brendan
written.
Small is a really good metal musician.
Yeah, he's the guy who did Home Movies, And then Metalocalypse was his next project, and he did all the music, all the singing. Like
he did a comic book very recently.
Yes, fucking
that the there's music that goes along with the comic book.
Yep. I want to call it like Galactica, but I know that's
yes.
wrong.
I think
no, it's Galactica.
Yeah, with a
is it? Oh yeah.
It's
There's like
Galactica.
a comic, and there's a whole music to it. I haven't checked it out yet, but that does tie in.
I think he has he has some pretty big name metal musicians on Galactica too.
Oh,
but yeah, like he is an actual student of metal music, and he takes all of his influences, all of the knowledge that he knows, and actually puts it into Death Clock and makes some pretty fucking awesome metal. So props to him. In my eyes, he is a legit metal musician.
Yeah, 100.
Even though he kind of like makes fun of it, he knows
with love.
He understands the comedy that is in some of metal and takes that and really like makes it funny, but also makes it legit.
Yeah.
In some way. I don't know what kind of fucking voodoo magic he does with it, but that's what comes out of his whole thing, and I am here for it.
That's what
I was gonna say
that out of his hole.
That's what comes out of his hole.
Whatever comes out of his hole, that's fine. All right, I'll give two quick honorable mentions. One that I had to really keep off my list. They deserve a spot anywhere. The Blues Brothers. I mean, the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
They were very close to being on my list. In all honesty, if we really wanted to get more serious, they would probably take the Wild Stallion spot. But I love the Wild Stallion so much. The Blues Brothers, between Saturday Night Live and the first movie at least, and then the little bit they did afterwards, the Briefcase Full of Blues album, so great. and then one other one that's more of definitely on the jokey end, but it's important to the lore of a show that I loved, is Drive Shaft from Lost, which you never really see much.
I forgot about Drive Shaft. Shit.
Yeah. You never really see much, but Charlie, played by Dominic Monaghan, was the bass player, and the way he identifies everybody in the beginning is "You all, everybody." He keeps on singing that to everybody, and you don't really get much about the band. Yeah, but it ties Charlie into everybody, and
it's
he's like
very much trying to be Oasis too, which is funny because it's him and his brother, and they fight all the time. Yeah.
I would also like to give a quick honorable mention to the Lone Rangers from Airheads.
Yes. Very close to being on my list. Very close. Pip.
God.
Yeah. All right, Manster, what are your honorable mentions?
I got three. I'll do them pretty quickly. First one's kind of a joke, but not really. From the movie Tough Turf, there was some version of the Jim Carroll Band featuring Robert Downey Jr. on drums. They were really good. Dr. Teeth in the Electric Mayhem from the Muppet movie, and the house band of the Muppets, fantastic, rocky, jazzy kind of thing. And the Soggy Bottom Boys from Oh Brother, We're Out
that was on my list too.
African American gospel folk kind of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Three great choices.
Too much.
Ashleigh and Maggie, thank you so much for coming on. Everybody, go check out Rock Candy Podcast, ending soon. So, but remember, like any great show or anything, it's going to be out there. So if you've never heard it, it's evergreen. Just go back, go to Spotify, go to any of those listening portals, and just start from episode 1. And
no.
They will tell you not to do that.
I would say like 4 or 5.
Maybe 5.
5 is good. Yes, and we have close to like 200 episodes by the time we're actually done.
Odds are we've covered an artist that you like.
Yeah,
because we cover a lot of different genres.
However, there are some artists, if you like them, don't listen.
Yeah,
we're mostly talking about the Misfits.
Yeah, if you like the Misfits, don't listen to our Misfits episode.
You can listen to Henry Rollins.
We don't like the Misfits.
I get Scary Larry Dwyer, our good buddy that does a million shows with us. I sent him a link to you guys when you did the Misfits.
Oh no!
And he's a big Misfits fan.
Misfits.
Right? So I sent him a link, and in the link, it was like the show description. And in the description, you guys were snarky about the Misfits. And he sent me back a thing. He goes, I don't want to dislike these girls, so I'm not going to listen to this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah. So
thank you.
He was very chivalrous. He was like, I will hate these two.
I do that too. Like if I see something, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to dislike this person.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to hear their opinion. on
Except
this thing I love.
somebody on Facebook like retweeted us in their Misfits fan group and was like, "These bitches."
I can't believe like they got everything wrong except we didn't.
Yeah, except we didn't at all.
And all these like fucking white dude bros were like, fuck them. And one chick was just like, nah, they're kind of right though.
Yeah.
Like I love the Misfits, but they're not wrong.
But then one dude called us irrelevant 50-year-old witches, and we're like, he's right.
Thank you.
We're gonna take that. Thank you.
That's our TM. That's ours. Thank you.
That's ours. So we are now the irrelevant 50-year-old witches.
You're welcome.
That should be a new podcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. So started episode 5. Manster, do you have the whole thing? Can you do the whole thing or no?
I could do the thing. Yeah. If you want to check out the lame website, puncomics.com, go right ahead. You can subscribe on any of your podcatchers, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff. You can check out our YouTube channel. Our Facebook and Twitter is @Pint-O-Comics, and our Instagram is @Pint_O_comics.
That's it for this episode.
I'm loving that. I love it.
Happy New Year from us at Pint of Comics. Thank you for starting a brand new year with us. Again, one more time on my horse, on my what is that called? What is that called when you get on that
high
thing?
horse?
High horse.
Hobby
Once again, on my
horse?
high horse. Go get fucking vaccinated. Let's be done with this shit. Pretty please.
Yes.
Sugar on top.
Please
do it.
And for the first time in a
fucking
long
vaccinated.
time, get vaccinated.
Stop.
Stop. What else? What do you want?
And stop being an asshole about wearing a mask.
Just
There
fucking
you go.
do
Just
it.
wear your mask.
Wear
Just
your
do
mask.
it.
Over your nose and your mouth. Only way it works,
Yes.
guys.
Both.
Only way it works. Manster, for the first time in forever, say the words.
See ya.
I thought he forgot him.
It's over, Johnny. It's over! Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it off!